Welcome everybody, Double Tap here, and today I bring you the 5th installment of my tutorial for Banished, and I just want to thank all my subscribers for their patience and everybody who's been requesting part 5. I really do appreciate all of you. All the requests and encouragement genuinely mean everything to me, and it pushes me forward to build this channel bigger and bigger. So with that being said, today I plan on bringing you guys part 5 and part 6, and tomorrow I will be bringing you the very first tutorial of a brand new series for Prison Architect. So I hope you guys all do look forward to that, and without further ado, let's hop right into this Banished tutorial for our part 5. So, picking up where we left off, we're finally making moves to get out of that boarding home, and I'm genuinely just as excited about it as I'm sure as our civilization is. All of these people right now, as you can see, making movements and bringing all of the resources to the plots of land. Those are all laborers simply because our farmers, as always, are obviously switching over to laborers during wintertime, and everybody wants to get out of that boarding home. So you can see all hands are on deck. You can see that as they're dropping off resources, a lot of them are shimmying up south right now, if you want to call it that, but truly it's north. And they're going to be cutting down a lot more trees because as they're laying down the resources for the foundations, they might actually be missing some of the resources, so they automatically go and grab those resources as long as you've actually highlighted that those resources can be grabbed. So if it becomes a priority where you cannot continue building without those said resources, they will automatically go grab those resources. But make sure that you have green lit them to do so, and you've actually highlighted those resources. So you'll see here in a little bit that I'm going to end up needing to grab more resources than I've allowed them to take down. So if you ever come to that instance where they not only don't have enough resources, but they aren't going to grab more on their own accord, you're just going to have to remind them that you can continue to grab more, which I'm going to do right now. Grab all resources, remove all resources here. I'm going to highlight the remainder of this northern plot of land, and now all our civilization knows that they could continue to clear off that plot of land and grab all the resources necessary to continue to build this original little town here. Now, one of the best parts to getting out of the boarding home and to building our actual civilization here is that we can control the population a lot easier now. I believe, as disgusting as it is, the age for them to begin families in this game is 13. And as soon as a male and or a female hits 13, if there is either a male or a counterpart female that is available in a home in single without a family, they will automatically move in and begin to raise a family. So you can see how having extra homes begins to become important if you are planning on expanding your civilization. As soon as there are people that are of age to move into that empty house, they will do that and begin to start a new family of their own. So this is how you expand your population as time goes on, and it's quite handy because this allows you to control the population. If you want to halt the population for a little while and continue to build up your resources and make sure that you are steady and actually ready to move up and grow your population, you could do that. Just stop production of homes, and then once you're ready, plot some more lands of homes, and people will automatically fill those homes up with of-age children as soon as you do that. So it's very important that you take note of that, because if you allow your civilization to stay in the boarding home for too long, they will age out. Some of those children will become old men and old women, and they won't be able to have families anymore. So as useful as the boarding home is, if you spend too long in there, too many years, it will become detrimental, and you'll find that you're not able to build a civilization anymore. So you want to get out of there in due time, not too soon, but not too late. Definitely worth keeping note of here. Now, ironically, as I was explaining how we could grow our population, in our event log, you may have noticed that Lexus the farmer died during childbirth, and it will also note that there's no laborer available to replace Lexus. Now, the game will automatically replace anybody who dies, whether it's from natural old age or a freak accident, like, for instance, dying during childbirth may happen. They will automatically be replaced as long as there are available laborers. Now, as noted right there in the event log, if there are no laborers available to replace them, that job will become vacant, and if you aren't paying attention to your event log and your civilization, there will be a vacant job, and nobody wants that. Now, looking at this market here, it says that we are missing iron. We only have 32 of 40 loaded in there. Now that's an issue, because if we look down below at our resources, it says we have 0 iron remaining. Only 2 firewood, 171 stone, and 0 iron. Now that's an issue. So here I'm highlighting all this iron to our west, and I'm going to increase the priority, telling our civilization that, listen, we need this iron if we plan on continue building, so go grab this first and we can build after. Now that that's done, something very exciting has happened. You notice that the trader has come here and he's brought livestock, actual cattle. So this is a big moment, because we are going to be able to expand our civilization and start producing meat. You could produce leather off of those cows. Lots of good things will come. We'll be able to start producing clothes, all kinds of different things. And most importantly, a new food source. This is very exciting. So if you notice, the cost of cattle is 800 per cattle, and we plan on reproducing cattle on our own, so we are going to need 2. So as I was describing before with the trading post, right there you notice I've highlighted 120 iron tools. So immediately our civilization knows that any available iron tools, I'm asking them to go grab from our storage, bring it to our trading post, and get it prepared to trade for cattle. Now, you're going to see me go through a process here, because he came at a slightly precarious time. We're low on resources right now, so it's not necessarily the greatest time for him to show, but we need those cattle. We can't let that slide either. So I'm going to be looking around here at our storage. I'm trying to figure out what I have available to actually trade with the man, and we will figure out how to get those cattle, because it's so important. Whatever I have to do here, typically, I was telling you before, I like to trade iron tools because they have such a high value in the game, but our civilization is going through so many things right now. They're using a lot of resources as well. So again, we're just gonna have to figure out how we can make this happen. And if it means you have to send out your workers to grab some different resources in order to make it happen, feel free to do that, especially if they're resources that you know you can replace fairly quickly and it's not going to bury your civilization. Then go ahead, especially if it's something as important as cattle. This is very, very big. It's super important to the game. Any single time they bring any type of livestock that you don't have, cattle, chicken, you name it, sheep, make sure that you purchase at least 2 of those. It's very important that you get 2 so that the animals can reproduce. There is no gender in this game. If you get 2, you don't have to worry about it. It's automatically going to be a male and female. So don't worry too deep into that system. Just make sure you get 2 of whatever type of livestock it is, and you'll be good to go. So the peppers, for whatever reason, didn't start being brought over to our trading post. Now, this could be because people began to grab those peppers and bring them into their individual homes, which I'm quite sure has happened. But regardless, they weren't bringing them to our trading post, so I sent out for iron tools and stone because we had some stone left over. So here it's 1,600 total. I'm just doing everything I can to make sure that I get up to the 1,600 total credits, and let's not overspend like we did the very first time. I'm going to make sure that if I do overspend, it's at the bare minimum of what I can. And here you could just see I'm waiting for them to bring the resources. It's not highlighting the arrow simply because they haven't got back with the resources to actually trade them in yet. But there you go. Now you see they brought everything that I need to get over the 1,600 point, and I'm just moving up and down these scales to see how I can overpay the absolute least. So 1604, I could deal with paying them a $4 tip, no problem. So once I purchase those cattle, you'll see that they pop up immediately in my little trading post. Here, I'm doing something very important. Make sure you clear your inventory back to 0. If you don't intend on having them, keep that trading post stocked with the number that you have given. I'm not in a position right now to just leave that much stock for iron, tools, you name it, and stone. I'm not in a position to just leave it in that trading post sitting there waiting to trade. So I always clear it out, bring it back to 0, and have them return those resources where they came from, just in case my civilization needs it. So now that we have those cattle waiting in our actual trading post, we are going to have to build a pasture, of course. Get this pasture built ASAP. If you're in a position like I was here, where the cattle come before you have a pasture up, pause the game, do whatever you have to do, immediately get your pasture built, because if you leave those cows in there too long, eventually I believe they will just disappear on you. So make sure you have somewhere to place the cattle. It's more ideal to have this pasture waiting for the animals. So if you could be a little bit more proactive than I was and get it up, do so. If not, make sure that you pause the game and get that pasture up ASAP so that you have a spot for your animals. And it's not a bunch of wasted money. 1,600 credits is nothing to gawk at. So it was quite pricey to get those cattle, but I'm excited because now we have actual livestock in our civilization. We have our town built up. We're in a really good spot right here, actually. And this is exactly where I'm going to cut our part 5 for this tutorial. This is exactly where I want to be for this. We have our town completed. We have our livestock being moved into their first pasture, and our resources as far as our food is perfectly fine. We have almost 3,000 stock just sitting during wintertime, not even being taken out of our stock. So that's great news. That's showing us that we are prepared to continue to grow this civilization. So I just want to take a second to thank all you guys for watching this video. If you've enjoyed this tutorial and you'd like to see more like this, please hit that like and subscribe button. You guys have been so great with helping me build this channel. Again, I can't stop reiterating how much I appreciate it. You guys are truly the best. All I get is support on this channel, and I know that YouTube isn't always like that. So I really do appreciate all you guys, and I hope you enjoy. Until next time, Double Tap out.